tried to entice her with a black kitty and it didn't work either.
Oh, she likes black cats.
Yeah, well, so do we, but
Oh,
we
yeah,
have,
do too. We have
we
a
have
black cat.
It's now 6:30. I'd like to call this meeting of March the 4th, 2024 to order. Could I have a roll call, please? Oh, let me first point out, there was an executive session that were held on March the 5th, 2024, March 6th, and March 7th, all in the mayor's office at City Hall to discuss personal matters. Roll call, please.
Councilman Orchakowski,
here.
Councilperson Thomas, Councilman Nestor,
Present.
Councilperson Cosner,
Here.
Mayor Mosher.
He present.
Mayor, 4 members present, 1 absent. Councilperson Thomas, no decorum.
All right, thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask Betty to come up and lead us in prayer. She leads the prayers for the Orchard Church. She runs a prayer group.
Thank you.
Here's your microphone.
Oh.
All right. Well, thank you. Lord, we just lift up Monessen tonight, Lord God, and we ask you, Lord, that thy kingdom would come, that thy will would be done on earth as it is in heaven, Lord. And we just pray, Lord God, that you would have your way in this place tonight. We pray, Lord God, that there would be a peace that would settle into this room, Lord God, that there would be, that you would open ears to hear what is being said, Lord God, and then, Lord, we ask you to weigh it, Lord God. Lord, I pray that every decision made, Lord, would be for good and not evil, Lord God, that it would be for light and it would not be for darkness, Lord God. So I pray, Father, blessing in this room, Lord, on a blessing on everyone here and everybody's family, and on the schools and on the businesses and everything that everybody puts their hand to, Lord. We know you want to do a work here, Lord. You've already started. We can see the difference. Things are changing. Things are better. And Lord, we ask you to continue the good work that's going. And we thank you and we praise you, Lord. We give you all the glory. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If council's had a chance to review the meeting minutes for the February 22nd session, I would like to ask somebody to make a motion to approve them.
Everybody have time to go over the minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you have time? Did you have time to read over?
No, I read them
Okay, awesome.
several
Okay.
times. Actually.
Mayor, motion to approve minutes for the previous session of February 2022 of 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski,
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to open it for public comment for questions that are directed to me on agenda items only.
Ernest Telegraphus, 29 Rex Boulevard. First of all, the resolution hasn't passed yet. So,
But we do have a resolution already in effect.
you have it, what do you call it?
It was passed last February.
What was passed last week? Then why is it on here now?
This
There's
just,
changes.
there's a few changes.
Okay, so what changed?
The primary change was that questions will be directed at me, and I will
Okay,
do my
so-
best. I can delegate the answers
You
to
guys
them.
didn't vote on it tonight, yet.
The-
I don't want to hear you putting the cart in front of the horse.
Don't
Listen.
interrupt me. Don't
Oh,
interrupt me,
okay.
or you're gonna get.
We're
sit down.
supposed to be a representative government. Each council is supposed to be catering to their voters who put them
And
in.
we're trying to make this open to
You're not
all
an
people.
employer. He is not your employer. What do you call it? The solicitor in my court boss is. You can look at him as your employer, but the other guys were voted in by voters. That's who your employer is. And I want everybody to know when they pass this resolution, and they're denying the voters to talk directly to the council
See,
members.
that's where you're
messing
wrong.
it.
No,
The whole
no.
No, 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 hold on. I'm just gonna explain it, part of my solicitor's report, but we'll do it right now. The 3 minutes have always been in place. This is a council
No,
meeting.
we're not talking
Ernie,
3 minutes. I'm not talking
Don't
3 minutes.
interrupt.
Ernie.
I'm about
Don't
addressing
interrupt.
each
Ernie,
council member.
you want the answers, I'm giving you the answers.
Okay, but don't say 3 minutes because that's not what I'm complaining about.
What are you complaining about then?
That each voter has a right to come to the city council
Yeah,
and talk
they do.
directly to the council member.
They do.
He just said, well, we gotta go through him.
Well, they're not gonna build a wall in front of the other council members, are they?
I don't know what
Hey,
you got in
look,
mind.
look, the city's not asking for much here, okay?
No,
This
okay,
is-
then what
This
is
is a
it?
council meeting. Well, this is a
Decorum.
council meeting. This is
Why,
to
if you
conduct
want
city
control,
business.
Go to Russia, China, you
Well,
have
no.
all the control you want.
There's gonna be decorum back in these meetings. That's the purpose of
Okay,
this.
you gotta define decorum. You can't say that
That's
nobody's allowed to talk to the
I'd
council
be glad to.
members.
I'd be glad to, and the mayor can defer any comments to the council members,
Okay, now
okay?
he did that last
He did.
meeting. Okay, so you're gonna answer this thing? You know what, Karen, you said you took notes. What were the answers you're gonna give us today, since we deferred it today? See, this is all bullshit. You guys just talk. The little people can't retain too much thought after 1 week. It's been 3 weeks. They're not gonna remember.
Who are the little people?
Little people in Monessen who voted for you guys. Anyway, I'm going to say one more thing, and that is, if you don't have the right to address each council member, especially when you can't get in touch with them during the week. Now, when I look at other websites like Greensburg City Council, their full name, their phone number, the time you could reach them, and their email. We don't have that on our Monessen website. And I've been bringing this up since last year, and nobody's doing nothing about it.
Ernie,
Go ahead.
you want to give each of us an office and a $60,000 a year salary.
Hold it.
Wait, ask,
I asked Karen if she could share her office with all you guys, and she said yes.
okay, you still want to give us 60,000?
She ain't getting no 60,000. She's doing it with her
Absolutely.
salary.
Absolutely, but the point is, the people in Greensburg on a city like that, that's a full-time job. They hire into, when they go into those jobs, it's like a commissioner. They're making $100-some thousand. They're making the big bucks. I'm sorry. My $92 doesn't quite cut it up to their salary.
Okay, I'm not saying to keep many hours, just 1 hour a week. If you can't afford 1 hour a week, there's a problem.
It's not a problem.
Hey, yes, it is.
No, it's not. You need to.
1 hour a week. If you guys cannot
Okay.
come to office.
Okay, we're just beating this to death. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
That's right. Anyway, we'll continue other items at the end. Anybody else?
Thank you. We did have a couple pieces of correspondence this week, and I'll be talking about one of them that has to do with cybersecurity here in a few minutes. The other one was a reminder to everybody. You need to put your garbage out the night before the scheduled pickup. They have people coming at very early hours in the morning, and if it's not out in the night before, you're liable to miss it. So the Refuge Authority has asked me to make that well known. At this time, I'd like to ask the solicitor for his report.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. First, I want to address a topic that was brought up by Ted Horhai a couple meetings ago involving the health center tax appeal. He made allegations and innuendos that I convinced the school board to lower the tax assessment. Said the school district was conned into it, and Ted's not here tonight. Wish he was. I'd love to educate him on this topic. Maybe he's watching on Facebook. He attacked my credibility. He attacked the court's credibility. He attacked the school district's credibility. Good, he's here.
There's his credibility.
No, I'm just talking about the health center tax appeal where Ted Horhai said the school district was conned into it, attacked my credibility, attacked the judge's credibility, attacked the school district's credibility.
Hey, no, wait, he's got this floor.
Solicitor's report, Ted. So, August 18th, 2018, there was a tax appeal, an evidentiary hearing. Here's what the court order says. On the 10th day of August 2018, evidentiary hearing was held. The judge ruled, the court ruled.
Greensboro County Courthouse.
Judge Morsilli.
Yeah.
Signatures on the court order. Fair market value of the property is $435,000. That's what the court said.
So that's what you offered them.
It-
That was
my
offered to them.
my part of the meeting. I'll explain how this works. You'll get educated
Well, you're
tonight.
lying, so
I'm not. I
it's
have
clear
documents
you're
here.
lying what you're saying.
Court order.
To get to that point.
So let's talk about how fair market value is determined in terms of real estate.
Right.
The price of what a willing buyer and a willing seller willing to pay for, willing to accept. This building was publicly bid. The city said, yeah, we'll take your offer of $435,000.
You take the 600,000 to David Lamb.
Oh, we're gonna get to the CBRE report. Don't worry.
No, David Lamb. was-
Quit interrupting.
Mr. Harhide, this is my part of the meeting. You had your chance. You got the facts wrong. I'm just,
I got the facts correct. Go ahead.
you
You're
don't.
lying.
You don't. You're wrong.
No, I'm
So
not
what did the
lying.
school district do? They hired an appraiser for the tax appeal to show what the value was.
Something that you
It
guys
was
do.
Kelly, Riley, Nell, and Barna. Credible tax appraisers.
Oh,
They've been
credible.
they've been found credible in multiple courts throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. They determined, an independent appraiser, the building was worth $435,000, $10,000 over what the city accepted, again through a publicly bidded process. No CIA conspiracy here where I colluded with a judge, the school district, 9 members, their solicitor, the superintendent. It's not reality. You also brought up the CBRE appraisal that was conducted by the city, or ordered by the city of Monessen back in 2015. The 2015 value was $600,000 for that. The 2019 value, they projected ahead, was that it would be worth $1.9 million based on a lot of different contingencies. One is if that building was 80% occupied, the appraisals,
That finally, you're correct.
and if the $500,000 to $800,000 worth of HVAC repairs were completed.
Which they were.
They were not. But there are 2 major issues with this appraisal, and this is at no fault of CBRE. They took their assignment and they completed it. First of all, it was the 2015 date. We were dealing with 2018 and 2019, so it's too old. That's not the major issue. It was based on extraordinary assumptions and hypothetical conditions. In layman's terms, make-believe contingencies. Here's the definitions right here from the appraisal. Extraordinary assumptions, an assumption directly related to a specific assignment as of the effective date of the assignment results, which if found to be false, could alter the appraiser's opinion or conclusions. Extraordinary assumptions.
Yeah,
Don't
what
know.
about the
No.
$250,000
My part of the
bid
meeting.
that
Hold on.
was put in by the appraiser from the
Hypothetical
What
condition.
happened to that
A
one?
condition directly related to a specific assignment, which is contrary to what is known by the appraiser to exist on the effective date of the assignment results, but is used for the purpose of analysis. Hypothetical condition. It was based on a make-believe assumption. Those numbers would not have held up in
Sight
court.
unseen, he came from Virginia.
I'm not talking about the fair market value of the property.
Okay.
What was not in the school district's appraisal it wasn't based on any make-believe assumptions. It was based on how an appraiser appraises real estate property. All of those appraisers are part of that
Who
company.
brought that appraiser?
The school district ordered it, Ted. You're wrong.
With your help.
I represented the city.
Not you, you're the team behind the.
Yeah, the team.
No.
Running the city.
It's my portion of the meeting.
Go ahead and lie.
I'm not lying. It's right here. You could go get the transcripts from the court. Not discrediting CBRE. They did the assignment. The city probably said, hey, make this building worth as much as possible in your report. Well, they had to assume. They said it in their report. You could read it. You can take this home with you. I've
I
tabbed
read
it.
the report already. I read all that crap.
Oh, you skipped the important parts then.
No, I read it all.
That building also was tax exempt since its existence, from what I believe.
And you fought to get it taxed on the tax roll so we could get taxes on
It
the
was
building,
assessed
blah, blah,
at
blah.
that building, I
Is it
believe in
the paper you said that?
1977. And I'll explain what I did and what the result of this was, because I already went through what the fair market value of the property was and how it's determined. Real simple. You come with CIA conspiracy theories and attack my
No, there's no
credibility.
conspiracy theory. I
It
know
is.
exactly what happened.
It's alternate reality, Ted. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they had an appraiser. The fair market value was determined. The city sold it for $425,000. I did recommend settling it at $425,000. You know why? Because you know how much that appraiser probably cost the school district? $5,000.
I know, and you blame me for it.
I didn't blame you
Yeah,
for
it's
it.
in the paper.
Yeah, I think you did go to the school board and maybe you conned them in going through this.
I went and asked them if they could- if they had
Because
something
your
to do,
efforts,
comfortable reducing
your
taxes.
efforts for the $10,000 in fair market
Your
value,
effort to work for the other
the
side
increase-
cost them $5,000, not me.
the increase, $61 a year. Congrats, you're still paying off this appraisal. You attack my credibility based on innuendo and lies.
No, not
That's
true.
what you do. That's your MO.
No, your MO is to work for the
Maybe-
people that you,
maybe-
push you where you are. 'Cause you wouldn't
Maybe
be
it's
there
to
if you
intimidate
weren't
me,
there.
but you're not that scary, Ted. Here's the folder. You can take it home, research it, maybe educate yourself on the issue.
The legal aspect, going to the judge,
The legal-
doing your thing.
So I colluded with the judge, the court of
No, no,
common
no, no,
pleas.
no. I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth. I know exactly how that all went down. So.
Sign court
Okay,
order.
that's his report. Thank you very much.
You argued to get it on one.
Hey, this is the end of it.
This is
You-
my portion of the
You
report.
do not have, it's not your turn to talk.
Go ahead, mumble some more, Ron, go ahead.
It's
Not
the
mine.
solicitor's report. You have public comment at the end of the meeting like everybody
Okay.
else. Maybe do it on some fact tonight, please.
Maybe you won't lie either for other people that you represent, not the city of Monessen. That's right, that's exactly what you do.
No.
And nobody will stand
No,
up.
just-
You pick on people that are weak.
Who do I pick on?
Not you, I'm talking about the whole team, the people. that are
Nobody's
really running
picking
the
on
city.
anybody.
This fictitious team, I'm colluding with the school district. I tell you what, you hold yourself to such high regard, and here we are talking in conspiracy theories at city council
It's
meeting.
not a conspiracy. Don't.
Let's move on with the agenda.
And the reporter who's probably not here watching on TV.
Let's move on with the
Mhm.
Go
agenda.
ahead. Sorry.
Well, Ted said he wasn't wrong. Here's the information. Anybody could look at it.
When they said that Matt Rakers didn't put himself to the redevelopment authority as an example, and he did, and I proved that that was correct. I can't get into the legal thing, I don't have the ability to do that.
Well, you opined on it and you're wrong, so now, I can't opine on it anymore. Then don't open up your mouth if you
I'm
can't
not
handle
wrong.
the facts.
Don't tell me what to do, you punk.
Oh.
You need to go to the next part, so we can
Yes.
get this.
Yeah,
Yes,
so,
let's move on.
You said
speaking,
no, it's a slippery slope.
speaking
time,
of,
I'd like to
no,
move on.
I'm not.
It's not done.
Council had me take a look at the public comment resolution, actually the rules of this meeting, because they're getting complaints outside of this room. There's no decorum in this meeting. Well, we've shown that here tonight clearly. So as a reminder, there's 3 minutes for public comments. They're going to be on issues that the city can actually handle. There's consequences for not following these rules. If you're out of order, you're going to be reminded of the rules. You're going to be reminded to get back on task. If you go over your time, you're going to say, "Bet it's over 3 minutes. Please sit down." You don't follow those rules, you're going to be asked to leave. You continue to cause a scene, you're going to be escorted out.
No. He gave the assessor's report, he responded to.
Here's the
privacy.
difference. This is a council meeting. Everybody up here is to conduct business. You have your opportunity to speak. The city's not asking for much. They're asking for decorum. Everybody up here is subject to criticism. No, you can't.
No, not
Public
at this
comment.
time. Not at this time. Not at this time. Let's continue on.
That's
Wait.
all I have this evening, but Mr. Orchakowski, please.
Thank you.
Let's make something very clear, and I mean very clear. We all want to make sure our opinions are said, they're heard, they're properly explained, more information has to get involved. And that's from all of us in here. But I'm tired of all this bickering back and forth. We can do a conversation and have a conversation and have it work. But starting tonight, if we start arguing, and we can't do it either. It's neither, and we're not gonna sit there and cut you people off and think we're high on a pedestal either. It doesn't work that way. Respect is both ways. But, situation comes, starts yelling, we're gonna ask you to please wait to public comment, or please tone down your voice a little bit. I'm gonna be the first one to say something a little bit different than what Joe just said, and that is, you come up for 3 minutes, you have a logical, and it's reasonable, and it's attainable, and you don't have your answers met yet, you're not gonna be 3 minutes, boom, you're done, go sit down. That is not gonna, I will not take that. I will not have that. But if you're gonna sit up here and yell and scream and get excited, and this is all of us, get excited, get infuriated, start accusing, I really don't wanna hear a thing about the Refuge Authority, Redevelopment Authority, the school board, any of it. We're the paper. We have nothing to do with it. I wish we could help you, but we can't. So let's put our energies in things that could help each other. And I know you're gonna look at me and go, oh, this is whatever. Oh, no, this is how it's going to be. And trust me, we're gonna ask you to please sit down, please calm down. You continue both ways screaming, we're gonna ask you that if you can't stop, please leave. If you don't, and you continue, which is more than 3 strikes and you're out, we're gonna have you escorted out.
No, at the end.
Pino, at the end. And then you can ask me anything, or you can ask anybody on council anything, but this is what we're talking about. You needs to have a little decorum and respect. As I said, we need to respect all of you. 150 million%. We're asking for 100% back from all of you. And tonight, as far as I'm concerned, is clearing the air. It's done. We're all moving on. If you're upset and you come to the podium and we all get upset, we get it. But please, under no circumstances, no more attacking anyone. And I'll be the first one to give you my word if someone up here is attacking any of you, no matter what. It works both ways. So hold your questions to the end. Have the respect that what we're asking, that if you go to any council meeting or city, county meeting, anywhere else, it's exactly what you're going to be asked to do. We're just asking it to go forward. We want to bring civility back to council and the way it is. So, no, I'm asking you not to do it. I know it's tough. I'm asking you to respect what I just asked you not to do. So, leave your question till the end. I promise you on my word, and John would agree with me, and I hope Karen would agree with me, that we're going to let you stand up here. And if you ramble on for 10 minutes and you're not yelling or you have a serious question, I'm going to make sure, and John and Karen, I can't speak for you, Karen, I'm sorry. But I'm going to make sure you have those 10 minutes to make that question. And that includes Ernie, Mr. Harhigh, or anybody. Doesn't matter. But no more yelling and attacking each other. And that's from all of us. Sorry, Mayor.
I just want to say.
No,
we
you
just,
wait.
I just asked
Just
Pino,
wait.
wait a
Just
minute.
wait.
No, I just asked Pino to please not, and he's going like this because he wants to.
I don't like that.
So I'm not concerned.
You're gonna stop the meeting.
I'm not gonna stop anything. Again, you're doing exactly what I'm asking you not to do.
Because I'm tired of being abused by the city council.
I'm asking you not to please do what we've been asked. You can more than happy say all that at the end. More than happy.
Thank you.
And again, Linda, I'm not gonna say, your 3 minutes is up. I'm not gonna do that. But we're becoming a laughing stock again, and none of us want that. At the bottom line is none of us want that. No, it didn't happen. It didn't happen when it first started before.
This has been going on for a minute.
Then let's end it.
So let's end it, like John just said. Let's end it. We're gonna end it right now. And that's what's gonna happen. And I just pray it doesn't ever get to the point where I've gotta say, or the mayor says, Chief, please send them out, because it's gonna happen. And we don't want any of that to ever happen. I hope it never even gets close to that.
All
I'm
right.
sorry, Mayor.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask the city treasurer for his report.
Mayor, City Council, and citizens of Monessen, this is my report for the month of February. Garbage fees revenues, garbage fees current collected, February, $41,425, year-to-date, $293,588.72, budget amount, $350,000. Garbage fees delinquent, February, $8,750.41, year-to-date, $17,663.21, budget amount, $75,000. Amount collected by Portnoy, $6,130.41. February year-to-date, $9,543.21. This is included in the amount I just gave above. Penalties and interest from Portnoy. February, $150.46. Year-to-date, $150.46. Budget amount, $2,500. Average fees collected for 2024, February, $280, year-to-date, $760. Budget amount, $150,000. Total February, $50,605.87. Year-to-date, $312,162.39. Budget amount, $577,500. City real estate taxes revenue collected for February, nothing year-to-date, nothing. Budget amount, $1,600,000. Real estate taxes will be going out shortly. And all the mistakes have been corrected, so there'll be no issues on your taxes when you do receive them. City taxes, prior years collected by the city, February, nothing, year-to-date, $22,044.74. Budget amount, $7,000. Subtotal, $22,044.74. Delinquent city taxes. We received nothing in February, nothing year-to-date. Budget amount, $160,000. Total year-to-date taxes, $22,044.74. Budget amount, $1,767,000. City real estate taxes distribution, year-to-date. For the general fund, $15,336.53. Budget amount, $1,113,120. Debt service, $4,160.05. Budget amount, $302,080. Library, year-to-date, $445.31. Budget amount, $32,320. Parks, year-to-date, $2,100.85. Budget amount, $152,480. Total year-to-date, $22,044.74. Budget amount, $1,600,000. Miscellaneous income. Real estate transfer tax, February, we received $4,374.96, year-to-date $9,508.54. Budget amount for 2024, $89,333. Earned income tax, February, $84,401.84, year-to-date $108,385.36. Budget amount $682,048. Mercantile tax, February, $654.50, year-to-date, $733.56, budget amount $23,425. Local service tax, February, $13,252.45, year-to-date, $17,227.63, budget amount $71,072. Tax certifications, February, $450, year-to-date, $1,920, budget amount, $20,000. Municipal lien letters, February, $600, year-to-date, $1,500, budget amount $17,500. Line usage account, unsecured payments, February $2,916, year-to-date $2,996. Line usage fee, February $66,069.57. Year-to-date $152,836.25. Total for the year-to-date $155,832.25. Mayor, that concludes my report for February.
Mayor, motion to approve the treasurer's report for garbage fees and city real estate taxes collected for the month of February.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. At this time, I'd like to ask our city controller for her report.
Mayor and council and general public, the Charleroy Federal's general accounts savings account as of February 29th, the bank reconciliation is $164,383.78. Deposits made, $335,625.70. Expenses incurred during the month of January was $299,431.17. The ending balance as of February 29th, 2024 was $578.31. That's supposed to be $200,578.31. Outstanding checks, $77,340.58. No outstanding deposits. Reconciliation balance to the bank statement is $123,237.73. That concludes my report.
Thank you. I've got a very short little presentation I'm going to present here. It gives you a little bit of idea of what's been going on with the sewer project. Get it all situated here. So first off, primarily what I'm going to be talking about is the Phase 3 extended project. Phase 3 is what they're working on right now. When you see them working on Parente, they're coming down Parente, they're approaching the Donner Schoonmaker area. They're going to very soon reach the railroad tracks. Well, what's beyond the railroad tracks? That's what we're calling the 3C extended project. There's some maps, and it's kind of hard to see, but this map was done in 1897. In 1897, the railroads came into town. They built pipes underneath where the rivers was coming down from the top of the hills, but there was no underground action there. I had a map from 1902, but I can't find it right now, that showed a preliminary with them doing the very first things. But anyway, moving on from that, what happens when you go across underneath the tracks? First off, it starts off as what you would expect. It's a double-lined brick round pipe that was laid. This is 86 inches in diameter. You can or 84 inches in diameter. You can stand up in the center of it, hold your arms out, you can't touch the sides of it. It's a huge pipe. But anyway, very quickly they get 35 feet down the line, they come into a plug. This plug was plugging up somebody else's line. It's a wooden plug. They never removed it. It's just sitting in the pipe that needs to be removed. They keep on going down the pipe and they come into what becomes the satellite treatment plant that they built here a few years ago between the tracks and the river with the Mon Valley Sewage Authority. That gate that's at the back of it is a huge gate. When there's a huge storm, they overflow. They send it into this same line that we're in. That room where that gate is 20 feet by 20 feet. It's a huge room underground. But then the room turns into cobblestone. And if you look at the back of this, you can see the round pipe entering into the back of this, but the pipe becomes square cobblestone. And if that's not enough to confuse you, then it goes into a mushroom shape where you have brick on the top and concrete on the bottom, and the floor is just totally gone. There's all kinds of faults in this. It also goes to an oval at one point where no longer round, it's no longer square, it becomes an oval. So there's lots of changes in construction technique that was done on this road. There's all kinds of problems with it. They've got failures in the side of it. They've got failures, broken pipe in the middle of the pipe. They've got the floor that's out in most of the line. It's a huge challenge. So where are we at with this? MCSP is a contractor that is using is doing the road down Parente. They're the ones that looked at this pipe. You know what they said? They said, this is great. We like this. This is exciting. This is fun stuff. We can make a magazine article about this. We'll get some advertisement out of this. They want to continue this project. Now, it's really up to the USDA whether we can extend 3C or we have to come up with a 3D. If we have to come up with a 3D, it's going to be more money to us because we got to do new specifications, we got to go out to bid, we got to do the whole process again, and they're probably the only ones that would possibly bid on a project that's this convoluted. So anyway, we're pushing very hard with the USDA to allow this to be an expanded part of 3C, and that's where this is going. The second thing I want to talk about was cybersecurity. And as I pointed out, there is a offer that came to the city through the DCED. This is funded through the Biden's Inflation Reduction Act that allows us to implement some cybersecurity things. The reason why this is so important we come up and sit up here where you can see it then.
You can't even see it that well either.
Sorry, that's the best I can do. That's the best we can do.
You can't see that. That looks so dark shadow.
That's a state senator.
That's the state senator. And this is what she had to say about it.
Who's that, Kim Wood?
No.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I rise in support of Senate Bill 745, legislation aimed at protecting our state's information technology. Cybersecurity attacks cost businesses and governments billions of dollars every year. In this environment, it's critical to understand that instead of looking at only a software package or hardware, we need to equally evaluate the security standards put into every device and every piece of software through rigorous standards. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST, guidelines are the gold standard in those IT procurement contracts. This legislation will require that any state government purchase of computer hardware shall meet those NIST standards and utilize best practices for hardware security. The failure of the Commonwealth in handling various IT projects is abundantly clear. The State Police Radio Project, the Unemployment Compensation Call Centers, the Teacher Information Management System, the Department of Health's Vital Records, labor and industry, as well as data breaches and data loss from various agencies throughout the Commonwealth over the last few weeks. We cannot bury our heads in the sand. These breaches come at a cost to the hardworking taxpayers of this Commonwealth. Their sensitive information could be compromised, their tax dollars could be used for data recovery solutions like we're seeing with the state police and state employee retirement systems issues as of late. We cannot sit back and say everything is fine, while clearly the status quo of our state's IT system is failing. We need to prioritize cybersecurity through best practices, and Senate Bill 745 sets our Commonwealth on that trajectory. I respectfully ask my colleagues for an affirmative vote. Thank you, Mr. President.
So what that really boils,
Secretary Shirley, thank you for being here today with you and your members of your team. Look, I want to follow up on the gentlelady from Montgomery County's line
I gotta
of
get
questioning.
this shut
I
down.
appreciate
Okay, back to the things. First off, so just to be clear about what's taking place is, the city has been offered money with no matching requirement to improve our cybersecurity network. And it's my recommendation to city council that we take that offer up and we move forward with it. That'll be on next, the 22nd agenda to accomplish that. Thank you. 28th, my apologies. There's a couple other things I want to talk about very quickly. First off, there's a position in Treasury Clerk for the city of Monessen will become available as of March 15th, 2024. AFSCME, which is our union, members will receive preferential treatment. The position requires good understanding of bookkeeping principles and the utilization of QuickBooks accounting software. Applicant must have good interpersonal skills and the ability to work well with the general public, while presenting a very positive impression to the city of Monessen. A successful applicant will be held responsible for the handling of monies and reporting these accounts to both the treasurer and city council. A complete job description is available at City Hall, 575 Donner, Monessen, PA. The other thing I wanted to bring forth is just a reminder, once again, I said something before, that I've been asked by the Refuge Authority to remind everybody to put their garbage out the night before the scheduled pickup. They're coming very early in the morning, and it's highly likely that you might get missed. Last but not least, the solicitor and I have had many discussions with Portnoy. Come the next meeting, we will have a plan put together, I hope, whereby we can offer an amnesty program for people that have back garbage due. It'll be designed in such a way that you'll pay the principal, you'll have 6 months to pay the principal and half the legal expense that's been incurred to date. That could be savings of a lot of money to a lot of people. So just everybody keep their eye out. We'll have that, hopefully council will agree and we'll move forward with that at the next meeting. Last but not least, everybody's read in the newspaper where certain problems have had by different municipalities sending out taxes in Westmoreland County. And that's primarily a function of the county has raised their tax rate. Luckily, our Treasury Department was on top of it. They got everything squared away. My thanks goes to our Treasury Department for really doing it the right way. It took a couple days longer to get the tax bills out, but I do believe they went out today. If not today, they will go out tomorrow.
They'll be going out tomorrow, the day after.
Yeah, anyway, thank you for all the extra work you went through to get that done. At this time, I'd like to ask somebody to read the rest of my motions here.
Mayor, you wanna turn the lights back up?
I will do that.
I'll do them. Once you get back.
Councilperson Cosner would like to do?
What's that?
Would Councilperson Cosner like to do?
Would you like to do?
I can. If you don't-
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I think that's all right.
Never heard me say that.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep.
There's a motion to approve the demolition of structures on the following properties based upon title, owners, and interested parties failing to attend demolition hearings held in the city of Monessen at City Hall, 575 Donner Avenue, Monessen, PA, 15062, on February 22nd, 2024 at 5 p.m. 920 Rostraver Street, 200207 0471, 424 Oneida Street, 228053, 318 Delaware Street, 200208 0228, 420 2nd Street, 200207 0512, 515 Summit Avenue, 200207 0205, 421 Ontario Avenue, 2002-080-144, 428 Oneida Street, 2002-080-0054, 515 Chestnut Street, 2002-07-0216, 430 Oneida Street, 2002-080-0055, 405 Delaware Street, 2002-080-192, 908 Rostraver Street, 2002-07-0466, 608 Division Street, 2002-06-0291, 641 Knox Avenue, 2002-06-0059, 309 Forest Street, 2002-080-095, 401 Ontario Avenue, 2002-080-139, 400 Motherwell Avenue, 2002-07-0157, 1542 Rostraver Street, 2002-150-317, 924 Rostraver Street, 2002-07-0472, 612 12th Street, 2002-06-0277.
Is there a second?
Second.
Are there any questions? I want to say thank you to our solicitor and to our code enforcement officer for getting this all together. But that's 19 more homes that will get demolished over the coming months. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Motion to adopt a resolution of the Council of the City of Monessen, County of Westmoreland, Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, establishing rules and regulations for public participation at all advertised regular and special meetings of the Council of the City of Monessen. Do I have a second? Is that what I say?
Yes.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
John?
Second.
I'm sorry. Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
D, motion to approve PHFA Homeowner Assistance Fund Vendor Acknowledgement Document. Is there a second?
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Wait.
Okay, let's back up.
Slow down.
Okay, no problem.
Can we explain, please, what PHFA Homeowner Assistance Fund is?
That basically is a fund that's been put aside by DCED that will provide money to assist people that are at risk of losing their homes.
How much more?
Up to $50,000 per home.
It'll pay for, in the city's case, the city's signing up to be a vendor. So they'll provide delinquent taxes, sewage, and garbage.
And even mortgage. But from a city perspective, yes.
It's a state program providing homeowner assistance.
Housing finance.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No.
Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Motion to approve attached payment requisition number 16 and certificate in the amount of $1,178,862.34 for the Phase 3B and Phase 3C work performed during the month of February 2024. The invoices are attached for approval by the council as Exhibit A.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Motion to appoint Ronald Naylor as an extra police officer for the City of Monessen for a 30-day period to be compensated at the starting patrolman rate of the City of Monessen Police collective bargaining agreement contingent on the City of Monessen entering a memorandum of understanding with Teamster Local Union Number 205.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner,
Yes.
Councilman Nestor,
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion to approve civil service testing on an as-needed basis during the police officer open hiring period within the City of Monessen.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Nestor.
Aye.
Councilperson Cosner.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Motion for the City of Monessen to become a member of the Housing Alliance of Pennsylvania at a cost of $325 per year.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions?
Mayor, I have an issue with this. And the issue I have is the city, as of right now, still is relying on the TAN note for its funds. And had we not had the TAN note, can you hear me, Pino? Okay, I want to make sure. If we didn't have the TAN note, we wouldn't be able to pay our bills, pay our salaries, we wouldn't be able to do all that stuff. I am not comfortable with taking on any other expenses that aren't 100%, something that the city has to and must do. That until we're in a better financial state that we can actually make it without a TAN note, I don't think the city should incur any added expenses, I guess I'll say.
Well, okay, and I can understand that quite well, to be real honest with you. To me, the Housing Alliance of Pennsylvania is a group that can provide legal assistance for people that are being evicted. It can provide legal assistance for a whole wealth of things. They're the ones that point out that 53% of the population that they are responsible for helping earn less than $25,000 a year. These are people that are at risk, that are paying rent as opposed to paying their medical or their some other thing that they have. And what this is more a lobbying activity than anything else. I'm not saying the city is going to lose anything if we don't do it, but I'm saying that we stand the opportunity to gain better understanding of what we can offer those people, the 53% of Monessen that are at risk of housing. And that's the whole purpose of this.
I can appreciate that, but that availability from the Housing Alliance is still available to them whether we become an alliance member or not.
But you don't know that. You don't have that information. If you're there, you can bring that information back to the citizens of Monessen. That's the big difference. So call it every day and find out what they're doing.
I don't know, maybe it's something perhaps that we table till later and see how our financial is. I just don't like spending money that we don't have right now, and we do not have it.
Is that a motion to table?
I make a motion to table the aye on the motion the City of Monessen become a member of the Housing Alliance of Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, thank you, Linda. It's H.
Is there a second?
That way it's not gone.
Second, Mayor.
Any questions on the motion to table? Call the roll.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Councilman Nestor.
Aye.
Councilman Person Cosner.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor.
Motion to accept the resignation of employee 510.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner.
Yes.
Councilman Nestor.
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski.
Yes.
Mayor Mosher.
Yes. Well, Anthony, it's your turn.
Well, thank you, Mayor. Okay. Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the general fund in the amount of $34,429.53. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment A.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the rec fund account in the amount of $1,239.19. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment B.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the Parks Fund in the amount of $628.31. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment C.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the line usage account in the amount of $1,265.77. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment D.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to pay the following invoices from the grant fund in the amount of $2,767, all 28 cents. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment E.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Motion to pay the following invoices from the liquid fuels fund in the amount of $10,409.40. All invoices are attached to this agenda as attachment F.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Motion to approve the transfer of $71,529.05 from the general fund to the payroll account to cover payroll expenses.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to transfer $75,000 from the TAN account to the general account to assist in payroll costs for the February 29th, 2024 payroll allocations for the city of Monessen.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to transfer $70,000 from the general account to the payroll account to allocate it for expenses for the February 29th city of Monessen payroll period.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to transfer $50,000 from the TAN account to the general fund.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to transfer $66,052.16 from the general account to the payroll account for payroll expenditures for the March 14th, 2024 payroll.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
Make a motion to reimburse the general account fund of the city of Monessen from the liquid fuels account in the amount of $76,626.19. And outlined below are the specific transactions. If anybody wants them, or I would be happy to read them, whatever you'd like.
Your choice.
Solely up to everyone.
Is there a second?
Yeah, that's fine.
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Councilperson Cosner?
Yes.
Councilman Nestor?
Aye.
Councilman Orchakowski?
Yes.
Mayor Mosher?
Yes.
And just so everybody knows, those expenditures would have been things that, until we got our liquid fuels money, which was about a week to 10 days ago, if not that,
Last week.
we weren't able, we had, the general account was paying things like plowing, salt, or any maintenance on any of the repair of the trucks or anything of that nature.
Did you use the TAN notes for that?
I'm sorry?
Did you use the TAN notes for that?
No, I didn't have to. And these are the balances in the accounts, Mayor. ARP fund has $155,137.56. Debt service has $894,167.35. Fire escrow has $21,393.38. Refuge has $352,624.86. Healthcare has $1,663.18. The grant fund has $79,577.38. Line usage has $796,701.77. Liquid fuels has $255,501.26. Parks has $27,237.12. Payroll has $18,448.45. The recreation has $4,597.41. The general fund has $39,957.70. And the TAN note still has $227,323.16. And Mayor, that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have Lois's report, or we're going to defer that till the next meeting?
I think she has to defer it to next meeting.
Okay, we'll defer that to the next meeting. Thank you. John, your turn.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of council, administrative staff, citizens of Monessen, and real officers. I will go ahead and abstain my report till the next day meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Karen, do you have a report?
I don't have an official report, but I just had two items I wanted to bring up. I had received maybe about 2 weeks ago a letter from Dr. Martin Dudas from the Monessen Parks Restoration Group. And he was asking for council's approval to aid in the general maintenance of the city park beyond that work done by the city workers. Volunteer workers are covered with liability insurance from Penn National Insurance. Thank you for your consideration. And this isn't anything new. But when I talked to Marty, I said, what would be nice if we could have more of a collaboration between anybody doing any work in the park, so that if work was done, you had to sit down and make sure that everybody doing it knew what the plans
going
already
on.
were, so there would be no overlap with work being done. And then I also asked if I could have a copy of his liability insurance from Penn National Insurance, and he gave me a copy, which is about this thick. So I have it. If anybody's interested in looking at it, you're welcome. I mean, it was beyond my understanding, but it seemed like all bases were covered.
I think previous practice, we actually would put that on file for any issues. And
Okay.
I love the idea that we see some oversight where we have other committees that are working together. I love that idea.
Yeah.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate your taking this on, too.
Well, I think it's all about cooperation.
Right.
And then, Mike and I have been working on a Pirates Fields for Kids grant. And what the grant was for is for a batting cage at Shawnee Park for the girls softball team. And when I started working on this, I didn't even realize that softball team were all girls and no boys were on it. So it's been a learning experience, but I think we were real happy today at the end of the day that we pushed submits, and we'll know by, I think, April 15th whether or not we got the grant. And we asked for a waiver so that we don't have to make a match from the city on the grant. So I think that's pretty exciting. I hope we get it. I know they've been thinking about this for several years now, so I just wanted to make other council members aware of it, and the public. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and feel free to stop by my office on Tuesday and Thursday between 8:30 and approximately 2:30, or give me a call, 724-684-9000, or email me. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to open up the floor for public comment directed to the mayor on any items relating to business, ordinances, statutes, resolutions, or daily work product in the attention of the city of Monessen.
Okay. This one? No.
It's supposed to be, but I don't understand the problem.
This one is. Okay. Who is responsible for anti-littering in the city of Monessen?
Every citizen of Monessen.
No, don't give me that communist point of
Every
view.
citizen of the city of Monessen.
Who's responsible here on this council?
That would be the street department, wouldn't you think so?
I think so. What about you, Karen? You responsible for it?
She's public places, not streets.
Okay, then who's street? John.
Karen,
I'm sorry,
Lois.
Okay, well, she ain't here. But anyway, this is Cleveland Cliffs. They are polluting our street and putting all kinds of debris all over the city of Monessen. I'll pass this over. Now, I'm looking at the Pennsylvania Vehicle Code and Anti-Littering Code. This is Title 75, Chapter 37 of the Pennsylvania Consolidated Statutes 3709. It addresses any depositing waste and material on any Commonwealth highway, both private and public property and waters, and they define this as waste paper, sweeping, ashes, household waste, glasses, refuse, metal, rubbish, any dangerous or detrimental substance. And nobody's doing nothing about it. Now, I contacted them, and they have an agency, and I'm going to alert them since nobody in Monessen cares about potholes or debris in the air or on the pavements that we breathe it in. Now, why, Mayor, haven't you done anything about this health problem? It's a really health problem.
First off, I appreciate you taking the role and taking care of it. Thank you very much.
I'm not getting your salary. You're going to give me part of your salary? Then I'll do it.
All $160 a month.
Here, Ernie.
No, I don't want yours. So, you guys ain't going to do nothing about it?
No, well, first off, I think you've made the initial contact. I think that's wonderful. I think that's great. Lois
Yeah, but
is-
when they step in, they're gonna bill you guys. So that's great. See, this is what you guys do. You pass the buck, you act like you're innocent, and we're all about planting trees and being real good people and bread and circus with swings and all this
Okay,
stuff.
calm down, calm down, calm down.
Ernie, you said, I didn't understand something. You just said something about they're gonna bill you. Who's gonna bill
Hey,
who?
if they come in and they start, because they said it's subject to penalty in, what do you call
To
it?
them, not to us. If,
Well,
That's the penalty for violating the statute, Ernie.
yeah.
What's that?
That's the penalty for violating the
Yeah,
statute.
that's right.
that-
Who pays
city,
for that?
Not the city, it's the person that's doing
okay,
the
so-
work.
Person cited.
So when the state comes in and they do all the work, they're gonna bill you guys? Or, no, they're
No.
gonna just build Cliffs, Cleveland
Right.
Cliffs.
That's
If they're found to violate the statute, yes.
Okay, I just wanna make sure because I don't wanna have another increase in taxes because you guys didn't do your job, that's all. Okay, so, I appreciated, Tony for making, intelligent questions about the panel.
It's my job.
Yeah, well, it's everybody's job, and I don't get it from the other ones. But other than that, I have one little question for Karen. Karen, you rode with Don Greger 2 months ago. You saw rubbish all over. What's the outcome? You don't have a report for that? All you got to report is planting trees
First
and
off, the questions
swings?
will be addressed to me, but Karen, would you please?
What rubbish are you talking about?
You and Don Greger drove around back in January. And you
Well-
saw all this rubbish. Did you
I hate
did you
to say
correct the
this,
situation?
but there's been rubbish in Monessen for as long as I've lived here.
It was those particular areas, rubbish was being piled up.
Are you talking about Columbus Park?
Yeah.
I have inquired as to that because
You acquired it 2 months ago, so
They
what were
have
the
closed up
results?
the gates up there. The gates are locked.
Yes,
So
there's
there's no more
gates are locked up
transmission.
there.
and that,
The rubbish is still there, so who's picking them up?
It's not.
No,
They're all
no,
gone?
it was all cleaned up
Yes, it's cleaned up.
By who? By us?
by Cleveland Cliffs.
And
But-
Oh.
well, but we did part of the
We did,
last.
we did
Yeah,
part.
that's right, you guys did. Anyway, I just hope we have more responsible council members to the voters who put you guys in.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Linda, can I go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you very much.
We better keep this meeting going. I know what happens when there's a controversy, so.
Well, I'll make rhetorical questions, please don't answer them, but the last meeting, I would just consider the mayor the fictitious dissertation you gave of your accomplishments, other than, some of the other misleading nonsense, but I felt that it was orchestrated, and I would say that a lot of the stuff you took credit for, if the county didn't step in and spend a ton of money under the Rescue Act and do some of this demolition, it wouldn't get done. That's number one. I don't know if the paper's giving you credit because they're not here, they watch it on TV, and I don't know if did they call you afterwards and you discuss it with them? So then they just put in whatever they want, one-sided reporting. You talked about the TAN note, and a long time ago, that young lady, Rosalie Nixich, taught me about the TAN note, how we cannot survive without it. And I said, that's impossible. It's not impossible. That's how we survive, because of a declining industrial center. That's what happens, and you need that money, and you're learning that. You found that out. You need that to operate, and that's just the way it's going to be. You had said some time ago the community bank didn't know what a TAN note was. It was funny because that week I went and spoke with the head of community bank, and they knew exactly what a TAN note was, but that was printed in the paper also.
Mr. Horak?
Yes, sir.
If I can make a comment about that, you're right, but my goal is not to rely on a TAN note.
Oh, no, I'm not refuting
No, I just
that.
wanted to make sure.
No, I'm not refuting that. I'm just saying that I want to give her credit because she's the one that taught me about 23, 24 years ago what a TAN note was, why we need it, how it's used, how it operates, and then she would say, you can't take 5,000, you can't. She ran the show is what I'm saying, and she's just a great lady as far as that, and a big help probably to you, I would imagine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I bring up the newspaper only because it accentuates only, like the sewage of this, that we know about that. If it would have been done in 14 when Mavrakis was the mayor and it was mandated and he just blew it off, it was about $11 or $12 million. Now we're at $15 million. That costs the city money, more money. The gas lines, they were done by the gas company, no cost to the city. Now, I don't want to debate the health center. This is something I had before even coming in. This is about the amount of money. Health center scam. It's not mentioned in the one-sided reporting in the newspaper, but $177,000 by 7 years is roughly $1.2 million that it would have yielded. And they saw fit, one, to sell it, which I think it had benefited, I know it benefited two entities that fought hard and had Mavrakis as the mouthpiece, as I've often said before, to reduce it from $177,000, which is $1.2 million over 7 years, to $5,400, which is roughly $37,800. Big difference. Question, Westmoreland Community Action, 5 houses, are they single family?
Yes.
On Motherwell?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now I got a bad part. Who keeps inviting this Urim guy into this? Like, he was in this building about 2 or 3 weeks before you had the meeting, and then you cut it off because Ernie was interrupting you when that. Plus, that was not on the agenda, by the way. I sat in the back and listened with your dissertation that you gave.
My comments.
Right. It was not on the agenda.
They were just my
And that's
comments.
the thing that you stressed. Got to be on the agenda. Okay.
There was no motions as
Just
part
an
of that.
Just an FYI. Who keeps inviting this guy? And he wants to do low-income housing. We don't need that. When we were a community of 25,000 people, the federal government mandated that you have to have so much low-income housing. Park Manor was built. That was in the 50s. Then after that, you had Eastgate, Westgate, Valley Manor, Highland Manor. We have enough. We have 60-some hundred people, I guess, in town now. I'm not sure of the exact number. Maybe you guys know. We don't need low-income housing. Who keeps inviting this guy to town? Not only, wait a minute, and it's rhetorical. I have, where he annihilated me, and I even have a thing here where I talk about his childishness and whatever he said, and of course you're all aware of that. His asinineness, his belligerency, and whatever, if that is a word. And but why would we want someone like that? First of all, that I'm a resident, and I mean the things he wrote were unconscionable, and they were absolutely 100% not true. But we keep inviting him back, and he appears before the Redevelopment Authority, and you attend the meetings because I asked Pino if you were there, so you're fully aware of it. Why do we want this guy in Monessen for low-income apartment housing, first at Linden School property? Now he's looking at 2 other spots in the city from what I was advised. So you don't have to answer. I'm just saying.
First off, I'd like to answer if I could.
Well, just let me finish because,
Okay,
as I
I
said,
will.
I'll get
I will
out,
let
and
you-
then
I
if
will
you
let
don't
you
mind,
finish.
that'd be fine. You said don't speak about the Refuge Authority. I was going to question the vote of when they voted for Lois's aunt, who wanted to be off the authority anyway, so it looked like we voted 3-2 to get her off. Tom Sadek was a good appointment, no doubt about that. But when we came to me, we voted for Dave Feehan first, so that we didn't have to vote for me, so you would have voted 0-5 to throw me off. I wish you'd have just told me up front, because I knew you weren't going to reappoint me anyway, because there are other designs that you want to do with the Refuge Authority. So, that much. four entities that I thought that you really flipped on that it was a little amazing to me. The ambulance service was kind of treated like crap. The library, the fire department, and the civic center. Then all of a sudden the civic center floor gets done. They said a parent did it. I heard differently, and I don't think it's true that a parent put the money up for that. I think somebody who either got a favor from the city or is going to receive a favor or looking to get a favor from the city did it. And I will say one last thing, because I've seen some of the crime issues in the town. I don't want to name the specific crimes, but it does pay in the city of Monessen crime. It's proof. And the other thing I had was you spoke for 35 minutes at a meeting one time, so watch about this 3-minute limit. And you spoke twice. That's you with a cowboy hat and a beard.
You know, it's kind of nice being mayor, and you ought to realize this because you were once mayor. As far as mayor, you can talk as long as you want to.
You weren't the mayor, but you were. Your beard was neatly trimmed. Who's that? Thank you for yielding.
Thank you.
For your time.
I'd like to point out too, real quick, that Matt Urim, I never invited him into town. That was something that he came on his own, and his business is with the redevelopment authority, not with the city. So
But you are aware of the redevelopment?
I am aware of that, but that is the redevelopment authority. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Linda Lacy, Maple Avenue. First, I would like to say there is no such thing as low-income housing. None, unless you consider the projects or these 3 senior buildings that are owned by the housing authority. You cannot build a house under $250,000. That is not happening.
Probably not. That's not what they're saying.
So why use the terminology low-income housing?
Because it's
not.
subsidized. It's subsidized just
Were
like
they
the-
going to subsidize $150,000 or $200,000? Are they going to subsidize that?
They subsidize it in some degree. How much, I don't know.
Well, even if they did,
That's not my business.
yeah, even if they did subsidize it, it still wouldn't be affordable for here.
So
Now.
first off, this has nothing to do with the things that we can control here, so let's.
Well, you
change-
keep mentioning it.
Trying to bring it in.
Okay, now the other thing I wanted to say is Portnoy. What are you going to do to those people who got caught up in Portnoy 4 or 5 years ago who had to pay an extreme amount of money? Are you going to give them a refund?
No.
But yet and still you're helping these people that are now caught up in that. Why?
This is a program that was done in 2015, I do believe, in that time frame, that was very successful. It allowed a lot of people to get caught up.
I've never heard of that program, really, seriously. Okay, I was just saying, what are you going to do to those people that was caught up before? Nothing, but you're going to help the people that got caught up this year? And I have 7 questions that I'm going to give you.
Okay?
And you can read them if you want to. I mean, I can read them. Those are 6 questions. You said you wanted questions submitted to you. I'm submitting it to you along with a comment that I saw on the internet that's fitting, I think. And I'll give those to you. And what happens, Tony, to the TAN note when we run out of the TAN note? Do we get another one?
Hopefully, we're not gonna touch another penny.
Well, it was
We've used-
500, wasn't it 500,000 in
We've used-
December?
We've used $272,676.84. There's 227,000 we have not touched. Taxes are going out. We had 76,000 from liquid fuels transferring to general to make up for what wasn't, the general paid for liquid fuels, what I mentioned about salt and everything for winter, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We're at the point now, I don't see it not happening, where we don't touch the rest of the TAN note. That's all we're gonna spend out of it.
Oh, because it seems like it was leaving pretty quickly.
No, believe it or not, ask anybody up here, it was not leaving quickly.
Well, I thought it in December, it was still the 500,000.
We didn't have it till January. I didn't need a TAN note
Well,
until the
this is
end of
just
January.
March.
I didn't need the TAN note started until middle of February. Because remember, last year, we had
But
a
I
balance
thought
of
you said
300
you mentioned the amount of money you got from the TAN note. That's why I'm asking.
$500,000.
Right.
But we didn't need it until the middle of March, middle of February, because we had $380-some thousand carried over in the black from last year. That carried all the way of January, payroll and bills.
Okay, so you're saying from February till March, we didn't use almost half of it?
We used a little bit over, almost, a little bit less than a half, yes.
Okay, I got one more question that's on the agenda where we're paying West Penn Power street lights $22,354. Is that for a year or is that for a month?
That's probably a month.
For 6 traffic lights?
Oh, traffic, I thought you said street lights.
Those are
Well,
street.
it says street lights.
Street lights is all the street
Well,
lights in town.
Yeah, that's
From what I understand, street lights, from
Yeah.
what I understand, they're as dim as they can go.
They're LED.
They're LEDs.
They're LED.
I thought that was gonna save us money.
It is, it has, but we also have to pay for those LED lights too, and that's a 10-year program.
Okay, so $22,354 is monthly that we have to pay for our streetlights.
There's
Yeah.
$10,000 at least that's probably down, that includes the walking track and a couple other places.
So what happens when there's a street light out? Do we call you or do we call West Penn Power?
Both. Both can happen. If you
Well,
have the
there's one
number-
right down on Sixth
you-
Street right now that's out.
If you have the number of the pole, that's exactly what they want.
Well, I will email and send it to Karen. There's one on our street too. It's not in front of my house, but it's up the street from me. It's dark. And there's one on Sixth Street that's been out all winter.
To be honest with you, Linda, I would love to get rid of, not make it dark, but I would love to put solar on each one of the poles and just use that, but it's not cost efficient. But it was nice enough that, God rest his soul, Councilman Charvelli started that program, and he's the one that drove West Penn Power to get that all done.
Well, I
Yeah, for whatever it's worth, that was a 10-year program too, and we should be coming out of that here in a couple more years where we'll have a major reduction in our electric costs.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm gonna give my questions to the mayor, and he can read them if he wants.
If there are questions you want to ask, you can ask him. I don't,
Well, I got 6 questions. You want me to ask you?
if there's 6 different questions, you feel free to.
Okay, question number 1. Why were the 2 houses on 14th Street demolished when they could have been revitalized and sold and put back on the tax roll? Why was the property wasn't advertised for sale
Can I answer
to the
that question?
public? Instead, this is part 2. Instead, the lots were sold to a person that lived next to the properties.
Let me explain that. First off, we had no say-so on that. That was 2 properties that were so far behind that they went through judicial sale. Then at the judicial sale, the land bank at the county picked those properties up. They went and they looked at the inside of them, and they were not anywhere near that they determined were rehabilitable. They're the ones that decided that they would demolish them. They're the ones that sold it to the neighbor that had adjoining property.
Well, that's not the story I was
I'm sorry,
told.
but that is the story that's
Okay,
accurate.
I'll let you stick to that one. First of all, there's worse properties in Monessen. There's a whole list, you just read them off, that were in worse shape than those 2 houses on 14th Street.
Right, and these are properties that we're moving forward through with local action to get them demolished.
They should have been demolished. They should have been demolished before those 2 on 14th Street.
Maybe,
Because
but-
they were not dilapidated looking like what I saw on Ross Draver
Right.
and what I saw on McKee and what I saw on Oneida.
They do have records at the land bank, and you're welcome to ask them about
I
why
know
they did
all
that.
about, I've been through the land bank list. I've talked to Brian Lawrence, I know.
He's the one that ordered it demolished.
How can he order it demolished when it belongs to you?
It
The
did
city?
not. It did not belong to us.
Who did it belong to?
It
The-
belonged.
the
It belonged to the
Westmoreland County?
courts. It belonged to the courts. It went through the judicial. The judicial process allows the property to be sold free and clear, what they call free and clear. So it no longer has taxes due, no longer has mortgages due.
Okay, so you say Brian Lawrence bought those houses?
The land bank has first right of refusal on anything that goes through the judicial process. anything that hits the judicial process, if he sees any reason why he would like to do something with that, either rehabilitate it or demolish it, he has first right. So he got that property in the name of the land bank.
Okay. Now, local earned income, where does that money go? How is it collected every year? How is it distributed in the city? And does Birkenheimer send us a report?
That money comes from, it's earned income.
Oh, I know where it comes in because I pay it.
That's right. You pay it as does everybody else that has a job. That is regulated by the state. The state then distributes to the county distributes to us. Now, we get what, 1%?
Okay, I know all that
Yeah,
part.
it's
I know
1%.
all about how Pennsylvania's laws works on that.
Well,
That's
the
not what I
question.
asked. I asked, how is it distributed once you get it?
It goes into the general fund.
Okay. And the general fund
It
is
pays
what we
bills.
pay our bills?
Pays bills.
Okay, now the problem on High Street, has that been fixed? And are all the rest of the houses going to tap into public sewer?
I did not have a current status on that, but I do believe that that should be finished within the next week or so, if it's not finished already.
All the houses up there?
All the houses that want to attach to it can attach to it.
Oh, so in other words, you can't be attached to it if you don't want to be attached to it?
There are,
I think
can you help me
required.
address this? Because I'm confused
Because I
exactly
want to
what
know, because like I said, if you don't have to be, why are we
You're-
paying a sewage
You're
bill?
not gonna be able to disconnect from the sewage line if that's what you're asking. Some of these houses up there have had on-lot sewage systems, septic tanks, something along those lines since they were constructed, right?
Okay, yeah, I understand
So-
that, but I think when you build a house, every house is supposed to have a septic tank.
Now, today, no.
No.
They're supposed to be connected to the sewage line. For whatever reason, those houses were built and the sewage line.
But what happens to your sewage septic tank when it's not attached? It just sits there in the ground?
And it leaches into, it
It
leaches.
goes
in-
into the Monongahela?
Well, it leaches
if
out
it
as
crashes?
groundwater. It's a treatment. It's an on-lot sewage system. It treats the sewage on there. There's a. it's
Oh,
called a
maybe
leach
that's
bed.
why our sewage bill is so high.
No. But what happens up there? Some of those on-lot sewage systems are failing. And the city is starting to provide sewage to those houses, and then eventually that neighborhood will be connected.
Well, I think that happened in Belle Vernon, probably about 5 years ago, and everybody in that community on that street had to have it.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's happened here over the course of many years, many times.
Okay, I'm done, and I'm gonna give you a copy of the questions.
Okay, thank you.
Who's next? I didn't read the comments. The comments is floating around there on the internet, but I just wanted you to see it. These are the questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have more other 20.
My name is Pina, 45 Montraver, 10506. Tony, question that I wanted to ask you when you were speaking. Okay?
You need to
And
address me and I'll turn it over to him just to be proper about this.
I think I was asking Tony, but go through the channel.
Thank you.
So at the end of the day, you will vote against it if they do not allow you to speak. That's basically what I understood you said, right? You would vote,
You mean the 3 minutes?
yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
everybody can hear you.
Those 3 minutes, you said that you would definitely allow them to go beyond.
I will voice my opinion very strongly if you're having a civil conversation and asking us questions and directing things to ask us to give you answers, and 3 minutes is up and you're still continuing, yes, you deserve every moment to be able to talk like that. I think that yeah, I mean, I think it's us acknowledging and respecting you, that what your questions are, and you deserve an answer, and also respecting us to be able to provide you with that answer.
How many council people believe in that
I
what
can't
you
answer
believe.
for everybody
I'm
else.
asking.
I believe in that too. The whole purpose of this thing, to be real honest, is to make sure that we maintain decorum. If we maintain decorum, I would hope that more people will start to come. And that's the goal of this.
In order for, I go back, thank you, Tony.
Thank you.
I go back to your answer to that question.
Okay?
More people will come if you be transparent. And more people will come if you have.
You show me
other-
one thing that I'm not transparent on.
That you don't run into shop.
Well, I'm mayor. What is the mayor supposed to do?
You have people that tell you what to do.
Nobody tells me
You
what to
can- You
do.
can stand there and tell me that. I'm only telling you because I see how you work in three, you come to 2 meetings.
First off-
You had, let me finish now. I asked you the question. You
But
couldn't
no
answer.
insults. No
I don't-
insults.
Pardon?
No insults.
You insult us every day.
No, I don't.
Pino,
You-
No
Well, it
insults.
does.
No insults.
keep
I'm
the
just telling
personal
you.
things.
Oh, I don't mind you. Look, this is the way I look at things. I've been involved with working people for only 60 years of my life. Okay? So I've been in many meetings. I've been put in jail, thrown out of meetings, and I came back. Because I find a wheel in the way in which to come back and combat you and fight you. And I will. Okay? But just remember something. Mandela and Martin Luther King went to jail for the right to speak, for the right to express themselves. And you don't believe in that.
Absolutely. I
Because
do.
you don't want to hear the truth, whether it's in this meeting or in the other 2 meetings that you attended. And I'll tell you something you did terrible for Monessen. Teddy Hurhai, he's a legislator for 20-something years. And you didn't even put him in a refuge authority just because you are pissed off at him because he's smarter than you are.
First off, no insults.
That's not an insult,
That-
that's just facts.
Yeah, well, it's your
But
your perception.
why don't you put him in until someone told you, hey, listen, don't put
Nobody
Teddy in
told
there.
me put him in or not put him in.
You waited 2 years before you fulfilled that job. 2 years went empty. You didn't care. Then
And now
read
I
your
have
letter-
people
then I
in there
read the-
that-
I
that
read the-
report to
I
me.
read your email that you sent this past week from Mike to you and to us. They came through us, and it was a joke. It was all by the refuge. It was the letter that you wrote to him and you wrote to our secretary, okay, about the garbage. It's just totally like, and you come to the meetings and then you pretend like now you have an authority to represent the city of
I
Monessen.
have
We
an
always
author-
had an authority
I have
to
an authority
represent the
that talks
city
to
of
me and
Monessen.
tells me what's going on there.
A what?
I now have people in that authority that tell me what's going on. How many times did you come to me and report what was going on during the Refuge Authority meeting?
How many times I come to you?
Mhm.
Never.
Exactly.
You know why?
Exactly.
You know why? Because you're not transparent.
Because I'm sitting in my
You're
office
not
all the
transparent. Sorry.
Okay, slow down.
We're getting loud.
Well, I'm just telling you. He
We're
wants to
getting-
know why.
and you're-
I'm
you're-
not
you're
transparent.
insulting
We're
me.
getting loud and we're getting off to what I
I'm not-
asked everybody
listen,
not to do. No.
I've
I'm-
been loud all my life.
No.
It doesn't have nothing to do
Not
with
this way, Pino.
It
Not,
doesn't have anything to say with
Pino,
the-
I'm gonna ask you politely to just tone it down, no personal attacks, and I respect your opinion, but I'm telling you, if this keeps continuing down here, I'm gonna ask the chief to start considering asking this stuff in.
And I'll
I
be
don't
back-
wanna do that.
And I'll be back next month.
And it'll could
Stronger
happen-
than hell.
It could happen again next month.
And I'll come back the following month. So it's
Well,
not
let's not
gonna, I'm
have
not
that
gonna
happen.
stop.
Hey,
Okay,
let's
hold on,
let's
hold on.
let's avoid
opinion.
that.
All I'm saying here, Tony, is real simple. I asked the question, you gave me an answer. Why did he get rid of Teddy out of that group?
But
Council voted on it.
he didn't get rid of anybody. Council voted as a whole.
Why was it empty for 2 years?
I don't understand. There was no position.
No
empty.
position there for
There
2
was
years.
it was not 2 years. It was about a year, but there was an open position.
No. I brought it to council meeting, believe it or not.
Yeah, but I
Okay,
have
it's
only
over a
been mayor
year
for
and
2
a
years.
half that girl resigned. And I brought it to your attention. You said, well, you don't come to me. I came to you with it, you didn't do
You
nothing.
never presented anybody to be
The only
appointed.
thing that you ever talked to me about the refuge, you came there with Mr. D'Alfonso and you came in and told me, we don't need your refuge authority.
I never
We
said
could
that.
do, yeah, you said it right there. So we throw that away. We could do without you guys. It is just, and if you speak loud again, I'm gonna throw you out of the meeting. That's what you said. You want me to talk to you?
I don't know where you come up with some of this stuff. But let me ask,
What-
can I
wait a
ask you a
minute.
question? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
First off, you come in here every time and you say, these people are not from Monessen.
They're
And
not-
you, but yet, Monessen is not an island that doesn't depend on other people. We have people come from Uniontown to polish the floors at no cost to the city because they believe in the civic. Let me finish. They believe in the civic center. And then I find out that you complain about the school system. You complain about the newspaper. You complain about the attorneys. You've complained about these things. And yet, now I understand you've gone to one of the local businessmen and said, you need to take your business outside of Monessen and take it over across the river to Charleroi. And you were making some very derogatory remarks at the same time.
To whom?
A certain,
If you can't come up with the names, that means they're lying.
no, I don't
That
want.
means you believe anything. Yes, they are, but I never said
First off, I've heard this from multiple people.
No, I never said that.
Joe Brasma,
I never said that.
first off, we have a very good developer in town, Joe Brasma. He has done amazing work on turning over property and improving the property, making it habitable, getting it on the
Oh,
tax roll.
You talk about that Joe,
And you go to him and you say that you have a certain individual, you need to send him back to Mexico in a very derogatory way.
send them what?
His help back to Mexico.
No. As a matter of fact, I talked to them. I met with them more than once.
Yes, and he tells me every time
I
that
think he's
you,
lying to you. Bring him over here. So why do you believe someone was lying to you? She was with me. She was with me.
I've not been to it, but our code officer says they're absolutely phenomenal. He's done amazing work on these houses.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But I mean, she was with me, so you know he's lying.
I know what a renovated house is supposed to look like.
Well, I know that his houses, and
Well,
he gets
you-
them
you
renovated
mentioned-
and they're selling for
Listen.
good money.
Listen,
Yeah, I like to see.
Tony,
somebody come up on
listen to what I'm gonna tell you.
$5,000.
Bring that person over here in council meeting and have him tell me that I said that.
Well,
Okay.
if that's what it's gonna take, I will ask him.
Are you gonna do that?
I will ask him. I can't
No,
demand
no,
anybody
then-
come in and
Then
do
why
this
would you take his word?
because I believe him. He
Oh,
has
you
done,
believe- So you don't believe me, right?
I do not believe you right now.
Well, I don't believe
You've
you.
already said that I'm not transparent. I've tried to be transparent as I can possibly be. You accuse me of different things that I just don't think are appropriate.
Like what?
That's exactly it.
Like what?
I'm not
What did I
transparent.
accuse you?
You're not being transparent.
I said, you're not transparent.
I've
I
mistrans,
have the right to see that when I see how you work. You got people that operate. Let me ask you a question.
okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Who'd you hire as an engineer now for Monessen?
WEC is still our engineer.
Is this still our engineer? They're hired?
No,
No.
we haven't finished the interviews.
Oh, okay, so you didn't hire. So in other words, you didn't finish the interview.
We
But
haven't
why,
finished.
why would you want to move somebody that was here for 40-something years?
That knows our system front and back.
I mean, really?
And
Why?
he may be the one we decide on.
Why would you want to not look at T-Mobile if you have Verizon and you're paying a lot more money or something, you don't like the service?
Well,
Why do you turn around and maybe don't have DirecTV
Hey,
anymore?
one person-
And you have Verizon or you have Comcast or you have something else? You look out to see what competitive bids are out there and see if there's anything out there that maybe you're not familiar with. Nobody has said anything that's saying we're changing. We're just being respectable and we're being smart for our taxpayers and seeing what's out there and is this the best bang for our buck? Just like you do every day when you go to buy something. You make a conscious decision to go to a particular store and buy a particular product because either you're comfortable with it
But do
or
you-
you're fine paying for
But
it.
Tony, you do understand that if you were to get rid of WWE, whoever takes his place got to call him up and pay them to get some more information off of them. You know that, right?
I don't know that at all.
Absolutely not.
Not?
Absolutely not,
Okay.
and we were very clear in some of the interviews. We asked very poignant questions, which I'm not gonna get into here, but we asked poignant questions across the board to everybody in different scenarios and wanted to know, what are you gonna do for us?
And
In all aspects, Here's a blank sheet of paper, fill in the blanks. Let's see what you can do.
well, I'll tell you, okay, being that he brought Joe's name in, that I said something that I didn't because Joe's lying, because he abuses people from Venezuela. I happen to speak Spanish and I talked to them in Spanish and met with them several times. okay? And when you do contract with somebody because they don't speak English, it doesn't mean that you don't pay them on time. Okay? You can tell that to Joe. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. The house that he fixed, from what it was, he's got it up for sale for $115,000. Okay? Now, you go look at it.
I will.
And I told him,
You know, the wonderful thing about houses is they sell at what the buyer will pay for them. If nobody will pay the $105,000, they won't sell for $105,000. Well,
But it's
His
his
property.
business with the realtor, what the market bears.
And
If the
this-
market bears in Monessen $60,000, guess what? If you put $100,000 into it, you're gonna lose some money, aren't you?
Exactly, that's my.
But that's his problem, not ours, not yours, not anybody else's.
I'm not saying it's anybody's problem. What I'm saying is, the house is not worth $105,000.
fine, don't pay for $105,000 for it.
It's not even worth 60.
Pete-
But what I'm saying is, you say that he does such great work. I want you to go. through
I've
this
seen
and see
the
what I saw.
project, the houses that he's bought and sold.
Wasn't it, and this is no respect, this comes across as a little bit of a joke, because we've heard it all growing up. Didn't P.T. Barnum say there's a sucker born every minute?
no, in that area. No,
Or is it second?
no,
I'm not sure why, I don't remember what the
No,
analogy
Tony, let me
is.
tell you something. First of all, okay, I put my reputation on the line. I fought for working people all my life, including I happen to be a foreigner to begin with. I know what it's like not to be able to speak English. But to take advantage for somebody because they can't speak English very well, that's what Joe does. That's terrible.
I don't know that he
You tell
does that
him
at
to
all.
Tell me in front, time to come to council and tell people, Pino, you said, because he's lying.
I
And I don't have no reason to lie.
Let's not call
Okay,
people
all I can tell
liars,
you, I came
liars
back
right
to
now
Monessen-
when you
I
can't
came
talk
back
to them
Monessen
face to
for
face.
two reasons. This is my base. This is my home. Lived there for 65 years, my family. Okay? And I've never seen it in such a bad shape that I see it now. And you talked all kind of stuff whenever you were running. And then when you got in, you had other people telling you what to do. That's terrible. That's not being transparent. And one more thing before it's over, because now you really took me up. But I'll be back next month with what I wanted to say. Joe De Alfonso, the newspaper guy, your dad came to my house on February the 10th, and I told him to leave, get out of my house. I don't need you here, I don't call you, I don't want you here. That's what I told him. Okay? So he must have went to the wrong house. He must have wanted to go to your house, not mine, because he's no welcome in my house.
I guess he
As far as the
understands that.
newspaper goes, whatever they say, it doesn't matter to me. But you adjourned the meeting last month, okay? Before I even said, what are you doing? You adjourned it, and then you put it on me. Supposedly, that's what they tell me.
Okay,
that
let's-
I'm the one that brought it to.
let's keep the decorum right. Let's keep the decorum right.
To an end.
You're
Okay,
talking,
that's
you're
an
3
easy
minutes.
line. That's an easy way to get out of the conversation. But at the end of the day, again, you lie. You're not transparent. You don't tell the truth, and you got the newspaper by their nose. That's
Well,
fine.
quit insulting me. Quit insulting me.
I'm not insulting you.
What do you call it?
What is it?
You call me not transparent, you call me
You're
a
not
liar, you
transparent.
call,
What do you want me to tell you?
well,
You're transparent.
you haven't given me any
Okay,
examples.
You're transparent. I see nothing.
You give me an example. Give me one example where what I'm not transparent about. One example.
And what you told you adjourned the meeting last month. Tell me why did you adjourn the
Because I couldn't get control of the meeting.
meeting? Wait a minute. You
Can we
adjourned
end it now before I adjourn the meeting?
No, but he adjourned it.
You-
He adjourned it before I said
no.
anything.
He did it because of what's going on like this right now.
But he
I
did
have
it
better
before-
things, I'm
he
not
did
gonna
it-
disrespect
he did
you,
it
but
be-
I have better things to do than sit here and will listen to a ping pong match going back and forth that's not going to come to any resolution.
It's
It
not
has-
like you two are ever going to agree on anything.
And
Pardon?
even,
You two are never going to agree on
and
anything.
let's
that's
go.
okay, that's the way politics is, it's the way everybody has a right to, it's fine. But I don't wanna sit here for 45 minutes and listen to a debate go by. The strongest thing that I told you, I told Ernie, I told Linda this one day. If you want the strongest thing to change things, run for office. Kick my ass out, kick John's ass out, or Karen's ass out, and sit up here and see what it's like. And
No, we're
then it's
hoping-
no
we're
problem. No,
hoping-
wait a minute. Then it's no problem. But I don't want to go through this month after month after month. state the purpose, state what you don't like, state what you want changed, and state why we don't have or should have an answer, and leave it at that. If we don't get back to us, then you come here and you rip my rear end the next time if I don't have an answer for you.
Well, let me
You just make it well.
Let me ask you a question, Teddy. Real simple. He said I insulted because I said he's not transparent. What do you want me to? I see you. You are transparent. You nothing
But
there.
you're attacking him,
Nothing
Pino.
there.
We
You're
asked you not to
attacking
do
me. That is
Why do you
personal
want me to say
attacks.
that?
I don't want you to say it at all. If you want to say it after the meeting and say, hey, Ron, I really don't get along with you, and here's the reasons why, that's between you two and hopefully something else. But I don't want to sit here and listen to this in a council meeting for the rest of my life. I'm tired of it.
That's fine. I mean, you know, you all I'm telling you that you need 3 people here to vote and pass any resolution. And as I see it right now, you guys are actually not doing much better than when Sherrod was in office.
Oh,
That's all I can tell you.
no, wait a minute. I sat up here
Well,
and went through 2 years of hell.
But I'm hoping that Lois and her, 2 females.
Let's not get on, let's not
not
go
get-
there. Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
That's
Get
not-
on
Let's not go there.
and change
I'm
the
gonna
way you
ask to
vote
end the
and
meeting
actually
if we
vote
can.
for
Hey,
Monessen.
it's enough is enough.
Let's not go there, please. Please, let's not go there.
Well, I'm just saying that I hope that both of them, they got 4 years left.
Well, that's fine, but sit
So I
down.
hope that they vote the way actually was best for Monessen.
That, nothing that council addresses.
I'm sure they do, and if Lois was here, she would tell you. And I'm sure Karen can speak for herself. But
Thank you.
Any other comments?
Mayor, motion to adjourn tonight's meeting on Thursday, March 14th at 8:16 PM.
Is there a second?
second,
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you.
never opposed.